There is a crazy island full of so much gold and treasure that it could literally make everyone on Earth rich and end poverty forever. The only problem is that the island is full of super dangerous traps, so anyone who goes there never comes back alive. The story starts on this island in Indonesia, where a bunch of bad guys are hanging out in the forest looking super happy. They're celebrating because they just dug up some really old, ancient stuff that they can sell for a ton of money on the illegal black market. While they are partying, one of the guys walks away into the bushes to pee. As he is walking around, he looks down and spots a weird iron mask on the ground that looks like something from a long time ago. He wonders how it got there and decides to look around some more. Suddenly, he sees a small tunnel opening right in the side of a mountain. He gets super greedy and curious, so instead of calling his friends, he sneaks inside by himself because he thinks he will find even more treasure and keep it all for his own. But as soon as he steps inside, he gets a huge shock. The cave looks tiny from the outside, but inside it is absolutely massive with different rooms that look like they were built by hand. He has no idea he just walked into a super dangerous trap. Suddenly, the ground cracks open right under his feet, like there is a secret basement underneath. His leg gets stuck, and he starts screaming for help, but nobody can hear him. He falls straight down into the dark, and everything goes black, leaving a big mystery about what is down there. A long time passes, and many years later, a new group of explorers and soldiers arrive on the exact same island. It looks like they are also looking for the hidden treasure, but honestly, they have no clue what scary things are actually waiting for them. The boss of the group is a super rich businessman named Ben, who brought his girlfriend along. He is obsessed with collecting old things, and he knows that the Japanese army built secret underground bunkers here during World War II. He even paid a captain and a bunch of soldiers a lot of money to protect them, and he brought a smart history expert named Jessica to help find the stuff. Right now, they are just walking around the jungle because they haven't found anything yet, and the captain is telling his soldiers to keep Ben and his girlfriend completely safe, no matter what. The soldiers split up to look around, but suddenly, everyone hears a loud scream. They all run over fast to save the guy, but it turns out to be a fake prank. One of the soldiers was just holding up an old human skeleton to scare them, which makes the captain super angry. But while they are arguing, they realize they actually found one of the secret bunkers. Ben tells Jessica to go inside to look for treasure, but she is too scared to go alone. So Ben tells the soldiers to stay outside and guard the entrance while he goes inside with Jessica. While they are inside looking around, the soldiers outside are talking about how stupid Ben is for risking his life in a creepy jungle just for some old junk. Meanwhile, deep inside the bunker, Ben and Jessica find the skeleton bodies of 2 Japanese soldiers. Jessica looks around and tells Ben they are getting really close to what they want, but she keeps the secrets to herself and tells him they need to go back outside and keep moving to find the exact spot. As they walk, you can see how empty and creepy the island is, full of thick trees and plants, which is exactly why the Japanese army chose it to hide during the war. From this spot, they could easily watch out for enemies and attack them. As they keep walking, they arrive at a super old mining place that is completely broken down and ruined. Right under the mining area, they spot a secret door. Nobody knows how deep it goes or what is waiting inside, so the captain tells everyone they should probably turn back and not go in. But Ben is way too curious and greedy. He wants to go inside no matter what because he thinks he will find cool old treasure to keep for himself. The captain can't do anything about it since Ben is paying him, so he has to follow orders. They all walk up to the door and one of the soldiers manages to get it open. Just as they are getting ready to step inside, a bunch of bad gangsters start shooting at them from up above. Everything gets super crazy and loud, and everyone runs inside the mining area to hide. The soldiers shoot back at the gangsters, but their main job is keeping Ben, his girlfriend, and Jessica safe. Once everyone runs inside, the gangsters throw a big grenade at them. The blast is so huge that it blows up the entrance, and one of the brave soldiers gets crushed under the rocks while trying to save the group. More than half of the tunnel caves in, which means they are completely trapped inside with no way out. Plus, nobody understands how the gangsters even tracked them down or why they attacked in the first place. After a little while, everyone wakes up and realizes how badly hurt they are, and one of the soldiers is in really bad shape and about to die. Everyone starts arguing and asking what is going on, so Ben finally tells them the real truth. He admits that his dad came to this island a long time ago because he believed there was a massive pile of gold hidden here that nobody ever found. Ben and Jessica kept this a total secret from the soldiers just to get them to come. Ben thinks the gangsters must have found out about the gold too, and now everyone is in big trouble. The captain gets super angry because Ben lied to him, and now one of his men is dead because of it. The captain decides he is done helping Ben and just wants to save his remaining men and leave. But Ben points out that the main door is blocked by huge rocks, so they have no choice but to find a different way out. The captain and the soldiers lead the way forward to explore. They find a small path that goes downwards, but as they walk down, they realize the cave opens up into a gigantic underground bunker. Everyone is super scared as they follow the soldiers down some stairs and walk onto an old wooden bridge. They think the bridge might break, but it holds up, As soon as they step onto it, the lights suddenly switch on by themselves. The captain tells everyone to freeze because enemies might be nearby. They see big old Japanese flags hanging on the walls from the war. The captain thinks it is super weird because a generator shouldn't be working after all these years, meaning someone else must be living down here and watching them. They carefully cross the bridge and walk into a room that looks like a big lab storeroom. It is filled with old medicines and weird masks that regular workers wouldn't wear. They look around and find old photos and papers showing that the Japanese army was doing creepy science experiments and hurting prisoners here during the war. They even find the old battle plans, but the captain doesn't care about any of that history stuff and just wants to get his men out alive. The captain doesn't believe it at all. He thinks there is no way the Japanese army hid a massive treasure here, and he says the information must be totally wrong, so he refuses to help Ben and Jessica anymore. While this is happening, one of the soldiers is standing guard nearby. Suddenly, he gets a creepy feeling that someone is standing right behind him. The mystery person is wearing a strange mask and acting very weird, but when the soldier quickly turns around to look, the person vanishes into thin air. This makes it super clear that they are definitely not alone in this scary cave. Everyone starts getting really stressed out and arguing with each other. The soldiers want to know what this place really is, and if the treasure is even real. Jessica looks at Ben and tells him he needs to stop lying, but Ben still tries to hide the truth. So Jessica just tells the captain and the soldiers everything. She explains that this place isn't a normal mine at all. It used to be a hospital that the Japanese army took over to turn into a secret science lab. They would kidnap enemy soldiers and do creepy experiments on them to turn humans into a different kind of monster species that could be totally controlled. The old photos and papers prove the experiments were real, but there is still no actual proof of the gold. Jessica says they don't know everything yet, but she is sure the treasure is hidden somewhere nearby. Hearing about the gold makes the other soldiers get a little greedy because they really need money, so they start asking questions. The captain gets super mad at his men for acting greedy, especially since one of their friends is lying on the floor badly hurt and dying. The captain tells everyone that their main goal is finding a way out to save their lives, not looking for gold. He takes one soldier to look for an exit and tells the others to stay in the room so they stay safe. Ben hates this plan because he only cares about getting the gold for himself, since he spent tons of money on this trip and wants his profit. So, Ben and his girlfriend convince the greedy soldiers to leave the captain behind and go deeper into the cave with them. Meanwhile, the captain and Jessica stay back to watch over the dying soldier, whose name is John. The captain opens up to Jessica and tells her about his past life, admitting he used to be a selfish soldier who killed people in wars, but he quit that life and promised never to kill anyone again. Jessica feels really bad for him. Farther inside the cave, Ben and his group find a room with iron bars on the floor. Ben spots an old US Army helmet, proving American soldiers were captured here too. As they walk further, they find the creepy experiment rooms just like Jessica said. They even see giant glass jars filled with cut-up human body parts floating inside. It looks so gross that it makes them want to throw up. But Ben ignores the fear and keeps looking for gold. Back in the main room, the dying soldier John sees the dirt moving under him. Suddenly, it feels like something is dragging him straight into the floor. He gets sucked down into a hole just like the bad guy at the start of the story. The captain and Jessica hear him, run over, and start digging frantically with their hands to pull him out. They manage to drop down into the hole after him, but it is too late, because John is already dead. His entire body was completely rotting away as if someone had poured strong acid all over him. Looking around the floor, they saw tons of old human skeletons scattered everywhere. This meant there was a monster hiding inside the cave that was killing people and eating them up. Jessica was super shocked. Right when the captain and Jessica were trying to calm down, something suddenly jumped them from the dark, hit them hard, and knocked them both out cold. Meanwhile, the greedy soldiers who went off on their own to look for gold got ambushed by the monsters. These monsters were actually people whose skin was completely rotting off, and they had those weird iron masks clamped onto their faces. They looked so messed up that you couldn't even tell if they were humans or wild animals. They pounced on one soldier so viciously that they gouged his eyes right out. The poor guy tried to fight back, and if you looked closely, the masks on these monsters were the exact same iron mask the gangster found at the very start of the story, finally revealing the big mystery. The monsters killed the first soldier and then swarmed the second one. He tried to defend himself, but more and more monsters kept crawling out of the dark until he gave up, and the creature men completely finished him off. On the other side of the cave, the captain and Jessica wake up to see a man standing in front of them wearing one of the iron masks. He was holding a weapon and said he was a Japanese soldier from World War II. The captain and Jessica put their hands up and tried to talk to him. The strange soldier started talking crazy, saying that Japan won World War II and was ruling the whole world, but claiming the war was still going on outside. Because he thought the war never ended, he and his buddies stayed hidden down here for decades and never left. Jessica looked right at him and told him the truth, saying that Japan lost the war a long time ago, surrendered, and that it was now the 21st century. The soldier was totally shocked and lowered his gun in disbelief. Jessica then pulled out her digital tablet and showed him old videos of the Japanese government signing the surrender papers, proving the war ended ages ago. The soldier slowly took off his mask, revealing a face that was completely disfigured and ruined from the experiments. He started crying because he had no idea the war was over and had been trapped in the dark for nothing. He said if he had known sooner, he could have saved his friend who was lying dead on a stretcher nearby. As the soldier got emotional and dropped his guard, the captain quickly pointed his gun at him because he knew the guy was still dangerous. The captain and Jessica started questioning him, asking how his face got so messed up and how he was still alive after all these years. The soldier explained that the Japanese scientists forced them to take weird injections and did awful experiments on them. The scientists lied to the soldiers, telling them the medicine would make them live forever and keep them young. Then, the scientists sealed up the main exits, leaving only 1 or 2 secret paths that only the doctors knew about. Jessica and the captain were totally grossed out and shocked. The soldier went on to say that the scientists wanted to build an unstoppable zombie army for Japan that could never die and would brutally destroy their enemies. Even if you shot them, they would just wake back up and keep fighting. It was a super dark secret. The captain and Jessica, getting really worried, asked him how to escape. The soldier told them the main exit was blocked, and though there was a second path out, going that way was super dangerous because of the monsters. Meanwhile, Ben and his girlfriend reached the blocked door and realized the heavy rocks completely trapped them inside, making them panic. As they were trying to figure out what to do, one of the rotting iron mask monsters jumped out of the shadows and attacked Ben to rip him apart. The monster throws Ben down hard and hurts him, but the other soldiers point their guns and shoot a bunch of bullets right into the monster's head until it finally stops moving. Everyone is super surprised and wonders what kind of creepy people these are, with their skin all rotting off like they are being controlled. When the soldiers look closely at the monster's head, they see weird numbers and symbols stamped on it, showing its name and how old it is. This is the exact crazy injection the old Japanese soldier was talking about, meaning the scientists figured out how to turn regular people into wild monsters. After talking for a bit, Jessica finally finds the secret escape path and tells the captain and the old Japanese soldier to follow her. Meanwhile, Ben, his girlfriend, and the last 2 soldiers walk into a different room. In the middle of the room, they see a supergiant monster sitting there that has even more crazy science stuff done to it. Right then, Ben and his girlfriend realize the secret treasure on this island isn't gold or shiny jewels at all. It is actually this glowing monster liquid the scientists created. If you put this juice inside a human, they turn into a scary monster. Ben stands there thinking about it, but his greedy girlfriend tells him they need to steal the liquid right now because they can sell it on the illegal black market for $1 trillion. They don't even care how dangerous it is, and Ben just stuffs the liquid into his bag. The group moves a little further and finds a giant metal door that opens up into a massive cave. But as soon as they step inside, they freeze because right in front of them is a whole army of these monster men, standing in straight lines. These are the ultimate immortal soldiers the Japanese government wanted to use to fight their enemies. There are thousands of them in the cave, and because of the science experiments, they don't feel any pain and can't be killed. They only care about one thing, destroying anyone who walks in. The group accidentally wakes up the whole army, and the monsters grab their weapons and sprint right at them. Ben, his girlfriend, and the soldiers scream and run back into the lab rooms. One of the soldiers gets caught and sliced up badly with swords, and the monsters finish him off instantly. Somehow, Ben, his girlfriend, and the very last soldier run down a hidden staircase to escape, knowing they will get eaten if they get caught. As they run through the dark, they pass the gross room filled with bones and see the dead body of their friend John. They keep running and pass the place where the other soldiers got their eyes gouged out. They are totally lost and terrified, so they try to run back toward the captain and Jessica. But the monster army is everywhere now, hunting down anyone left alive. Another monster jumps out and cuts Ben up really badly. Ben is bleeding out on the floor, and his girlfriend panics because she thinks he is going to die right in front of her. Without thinking, she pulls out the secret monster injection they stole and shoves the needle straight into Ben's body, hoping it will save his life. At the same time, the giant monster army finds the room where the captain and Jessica are hiding. The captain and Jessica run for their lives, but the old Japanese soldier decides to give up and surrender. The monsters are super mean and kill him brutally on the spot. Ben's girlfriend tricks the captain and Jessica, leaving them behind so she can hide in a small cave alone with Ben. But the liquid inside Ben's body starts changing him super fast into one of those immortal monsters. His veins pop out, he goes totally crazy, and he loses control, jumping on his own girlfriend and killing her. The monster juice actually works perfectly. The army catches up to the captain and the last soldier and traps them. The captain gets killed, and the last soldier tries to swing his gun and fight back. But these monster soldiers are actually super smart with high IQs. They team up on him, block his attacks, and finish him off easily. Now everyone is dead except for Jessica. She runs through the dark, finds an underwater tunnel, and swims through the water to reach the outside air. She climbs out of the water thinking she is safe, But another immortal soldier pops out of the water right behind her, grabs her, and kills her too. Slowly, the entire army of immortal monster soldiers starts marching out of the water and onto the grass, getting ready to walk into the real world and destroy everybody on Earth. A giant new war is about to start where unstoppable monsters hunt down humanity, and that is the scary end of the story.